the things that can be had here. But looking at the Sears Lair, we got Recharge Slayer coming up after that. That's one of my favorite maps and game type combinations, so we'll see that for game number 2. But it looks like we're finally loading in here for game number 1. Like I said, it's the first to 2 caps. We've got a little bit of a reset here. First to 2 caps will be victorious in this game 1. And of course, 8 minutes remaining on the clock as well. So we'll see if those initial strats come to play, or if we're going to play a little bit of chess here at the start.
I think this might also favor AB Purple in a way too, though, now that I think about it, because it seemed like BreakingShot might have been a little cold. You know, it's been a while since they played their last round. I saw them just kind of standing around by the stations earlier, just waiting to play. You know, it's been a little while. And some players, you know, they need a little bit longer for the fingies to warm up. I mean, that's how it is for me. Like, I got to play for at least a few minutes, and maybe this little reset will be enough for BreakingShot to lock back in here. Oh,
I'm terrible. It takes me like 2 hours to warm up. I'm like, oh, I'm just
getting old, man.
It is awful. Let me tell you, mouse keyboard, it's tough to warm up for me. But here we go. Starting off the bat, we got Rayne. Rayne, one of the greats. Even in MCC Halo 3, towards the end of that stint, before Halo Infinite came out, he was definitely performing really well. But you see Rebellion, they go 3 down initially. A couple trades come on the other side, but the QT now in the hands of RyaNoob.
Yeah, it's running out though. He doesn't really have a good reason to use it, so I just imagine it's going to expire as it does. He gets caught out in the open. Kind of surprising poor positioning from RyaNoob. He's usually known for always finding himself in the right place at the right time, but maybe thought he could find a cheeky, sneaky route through bottom mid. Getting seen by a sniper does not bode well for you trying to do that. So looks pretty even across the board. 2 dead on both sides right now. Yeah,
we're gonna need a little momentum from a player here. I think, you know, one player popping off really could set the tone. We saw it before. One player really taking heat.
Squallaye already 4 kills, 2 deaths though.
It's a solid start for Squallaye. See a little bit of a defensive wall here for Rebellion. And you see Cykul trying to move past that, though. He wants to get that map space. And this is where the players are just so annoying, right? You've got BreakingShot on the left-hand side there, just kind of being a nuisance, putting some shots in. It forces a player to drop off a snipe there. Here comes the push. The trades come out on either side. It's a 2v2 situation. And it's this fight at the mid that will grant that extra bit of control.
Yeah, I'm looking at the timer here, and they didn't set it to 8 minutes. So what I think is there was actually 4 minutes left, so they're going to end the game at 8 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
The plan is here.
Okay.
At the 10-minute mark, definitely an important one in this. See who can get the sniper. Looks like we've got a member of Rebellion trying to nade the sniper off of the Sin baseline side. Very cheeky play, honestly. If you can just be close enough to throw a plasma grenade off it, Combat Evolved it right off the side.
Right.
Just take that out of their hands for a minute. You can sometimes turn that into some momentum.
Combat Evolved is such an underutilized tactic, right? Any weapon that's on a platform like that, on a little, like the sniper, the rockets, you can throw plasma, like Eli just said, onto it and force it off the map if you want, or force it towards yourself. But regardless, I just don't see that used very often, and I want to see it used more, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we will as the game gets older. We'll probably start seeing more of that meta start to evolve. But this game's so fast-paced, sometimes you don't even have time to line up a grenade.
That's true.
Like we used to see in the old days. You know?
The old days would take like 10 hours just to line up one nade.
Yeah.
But here it is, Mental on your screen. Like I said, player who is a champion in multiple titles, Gears of War, many championships under his belt, and you know he's been playing Halo Infinite ever since it came out. And he's been literally dedicating all of his time to Halo Infinite.
Yeah, he was a standout player on that group of Gears of War players, Explosive and friends that did try this game, and he's just always been a standout player. RyaNoob probably one of the best at spotting talent in the league, right? As we see Mental and Cykul on his squadron.
Well, unfortunately, Mental does go down. It's gonna swap us over to Cykul. You just actually also talked about. Great shots out of him. Gonna pull out the snipe. Gonna get the body shot, but not gonna be able to clean it up there. Potentially waiting for his teammates to do so, and you see the bottom left, the middle left corner of the screen there. The trade does come out onto Posey, who's going to be on the spawn. They've still got to push through here. Lots of pushing to do, and the snipe will come up in a couple seconds.
The game might be over though. They might, like I said, not sure if I'm correct on the ruling, but it would kind of make sense if they decided to end it here, because I think it was about 4 minutes on the clock. But no, they're still playing, so perhaps they're going to play to the 4-minute mark.
Well, Mental playing extremely slow here. Has that trigger discipline. No one passing his screen just yet, but puts a couple of shots into 2 players. Unfortunately, those two players are not going to be able to be cleaned up. You didn't see the assist mark on his screen either, so Mental's going to push on through really aggressively here, and this is kind of what we want to see. But look, as he pushes on through, he's got 2 players dead on his team, and he's only able to get 1 trade.
Yeah, now he's in the other team's base, 1 shot. Really just trying to waste their time, pull them backwards here, so it seems like probably waste of time, like he's definitely going to die. But the longer he stays alive, the longer the other team has to worry about him, which actually does give his teammates a little bit more space to move up on the map. So good play. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to convert into any sort of actual flag pull, though.
Well, Squallaye starting this reset off 11-6, having a solid start thus far. Cykul, once again, putting some shots into player, backs off with a grapple into the vent. Back and forth they go. No one really able to find a hole here to enter into, and honestly, it's going to be BreakingShot with a repulse that could initiate that push, but a kill needs to happen here on the side of Rebellion. You see the first kill onto RyaNoob, but again, it gets traded out. The snipe in the hands. I believe that's the hands of Posey.
Yeah, he can hit his shots too.
He could be the catalyst.
The thing I'm noticing is so far ascending baseline actually outslaying by a pretty significant margin, but just unable to convert it into any kind of flag cap, showing Rebellion's defense just too strong.
Saw that player fall off the map. Once again, the grapple utilized right there. He's able to reposition himself. Body shots continue to go in. There's another one. There's the assist for that one. There's another body shot. And it's going to be Posey. Like you said, he can hit his shots on a killing spree. But again, he gets 2 down. And as you can see, one of them is up now. And you'll see in a second or two, Rayne will come up as well. And now the full team is up and they have to reslay. So it's going to be up to ascending baseline purple to take their advantage on the map, their space on the map now, and get these reslays.
It does feel like they're really not getting much map for each slay.
Right, agreed.
It just feels like they're finding themselves at the bottom of the map down here, which I'm not really sure what the mentality is for that. Maybe trying to chase down a kill down here, but I'd much rather be at the top of the map to apply pressure to the spawners once they come back up. And it looks like they're being punished for it. Rebellion has the flag out, and only 2 members of AB Purple alive have to extend through the pistol side. They're going to try to cut off the flag player.
Finally get 3 down. This is the important part, right? Is these slays on the right-hand side.
Yeah, only 1 right now.
The flag does go out towards the elbow side.
Playing this very patiently, knowing there's still many players trying to grab this flag.
And it will be returned.
Yep.
So now we enter back into a little bit of a stalemate.
Yep. See 1 player overextending, no shields, does find a kill back there.
There we go. They got 2 kills. They got 2 kills.
Oh, but these 2 players in the back are going to play spoiler.
Yep.
Really smart way they played that to have members on both sides of the ramps.
Right.
This just really limits the option of anybody trying to approach the flag there.
Yeah, it was the opening. 2 openings in a row now. It seems that we might find a breakthrough very shortly here. Mental, sniper in hand.
Yeah, we've got all players of Rebellion now at the 50 or past the 50.
New snipes coming up too.
Yeah, will they be able to stop AB from getting their sniper? That's going to be a big question mark here.
Mental looking to peek.
Oh, I think
that's another body. Another body shot here from Mental.
Well, they recognize their sniper's missing. They know that it was stolen.
Very smart. Now they're going to have 2 snipers to work with, and you talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Utilizing both of those snipers to get enough slays to get a flagpole going.
A lot of snipe shots being missed, though.
Yeah, this is
just so much to pick them up. You got to hit the shot too.
This is late night Halo, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go. Nice couple kills there. 2 go down for ascending baseline purple. Cykul looking to push out of his base here. They've made the defense happen. Now they can push towards bottom mid, but they've got a player to look out for.
Looks like
right,
they're aware.
Bottom of base. Yeah, he definitely knows. This is a big kill for him.
Oh, okay.
Finally gets it. If he didn't get that kill, it would have been a little bit of a mess, because that means we wouldn't have been able to push up further. Cykul waiting for them to pick up their snipe. That's ascending baseline purple. Another player makes it towards the bottom of the base somehow. And it just looks like ascending baseline purple is on the aggression, but they're catching Rebellion off the guard. Mental, the last player alive.
Yeah, honestly, really strong pressure under the base. They just keep shooting players in the back while they try to get out of the base. That's so annoying to deal with on the other side. If you're trying to advance on the map, but then you get shot in the back by someone you didn't even know was there. And that pressure allowing a flag to go out here Not sure how far it's going to get, though.
Well, it looks like it's close to returning, and it does return.
Okay.
3 down for Rebellion. Wait a minute here, folks.
Gotta move up on the map. We're in the base.
We are in the base. It is Posey with the sniper. He's the one player I've seen hit a great snipe in this game thus far. Not able to connect on anything there, though. Ends up getting taken out. And they take out Squallaye as well.
Kind of a minor detail, but a lot people might not have recognized Posey's movement there from the front of the base to the screens area. Yep. He was intentionally staying outside of the zone to block the sniper spawn because they wanted them to spawn at the sniper. So he stayed just outside of the spawn blocking radius to ensure that those players spawned at the sniper, which makes them easier to deal with, but at the end they still weren't able to deal with them anyways. But still a great plays from Posey.
Yeah, it's still a heads-up play, right? It's still a heads-up play to be able to have that in-game awareness at that very moment.
Yeah, both teams in each other's base now.
Yeah, RyaNoob, there we go. That's what RyaNoob wanted, but he's got to find more than that. He knows that one kill is not going to allow him to pull this flag very, very far. But look at this. He just gets pushed. They're aware of him. He's being a nuisance, though. Like we talked about before, he can stay alive here. This will be good. Allow Rebellion to push up a bit.
He knows that they're going to send a player after him. He knows he has this grapple. Just barely.
Oh, they were waiting for him.
They're like, it's RyaNoob. We know he's doing something nerdy. Yep. Like, let's just wait for him to come back up.
Wait a minute. We're hitting some shots here. Wait a minute. Those are a couple body shots going in, but are they going to get cleaned up, though, is the question.
Mental very proficient with the sniper. I believe he is the player that they let pick up the sniper at the beginning.
There it is.
And this is why these are the headshots you need to actually get control.
3 down. Can he capitalize, though? He's got to do it again.
Oh,
okay. That's another body to the shoulder. Nice little shot to the shoulder right there. Gets the kill. Wait a minute. 2 down here for ascending baseline purple. Mental with a sniper in hand. 3 shots to deal with. Gets the killing spree in the kill.
And he's cutting off the spawners. Aware of the spawn. Wait, maybe not as aware as I thought. It looked like he was ready for this guy. Now he is.
Whoa.
Reaction time good enough to cut him off anyways. This is the best chance for a cap we've seen all game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to get a cap in on the board with 10 seconds remaining in the reset game. It looks like a cap will go through, but they're not done just yet. It looks like they potentially want to go for a pull here. They get the pull out, but is it going to be enough? Lots of work to be done. Lots of players there to defend. And that is it. I mean, I would assume if we went to that timer rule that you were talking about, we could count that as overtime and it was first to 1. But I don't know what rules they're essentially using here. And we'll get back to you guys as soon as we find that out.
No, I think logically they would just play the overtime as played. But honestly, a little bit glad that one's over with. That was kind of the stalemate throughout a lot of it. But I mean, what I saw there, it felt like ascending baseline just weren't getting enough space off of their slays. They felt kind of stagnant. Like there were several times that they would get 2 dead and then like back up a little bit. Maybe they're playing a little bit too safe. They ended up having, I think they outslayed Shopify by a significant margin this game, but it doesn't add up to a flag cap.
Well, we go over to game number 2, which for those of you guys that don't know is always a Slayer. And we're going to see lots of action coming up here in this game number 2. Of course, Shopify Rebellion take game number 1. 2-1 on Argyle CTF. It was all at the very end there. Mental finding an opening, getting a killing spree, hitting a couple of snipes that really opened up the lane for that flag to go through. And no matter how hard they tried, they weren't able to reciprocate there.
Yeah, Squallaye putting up most kills in the lobby, only 17 deaths, 10.3 KDA, but unable to close the game. That game type, I feel like, is hit or miss for a lot of teams. I feel like some teams really have it down to a science. Sentinels comes to mind. I think Sentinels is one of the best Argyle CTF teams in the league. They just seem to have a perfect flow chart for when to pull. We saw Quadrant making some brilliant plays, pulling flags with just 1 dead at times and still capping. So maybe the objective efficiency not quite there, but I've always said that CTF is kind of like the odd man out when it comes to game types in this game. you're either good at CTF or you're not, and that doesn't usually translate to other game types because it's so unique, right? You have to go grab an object on the other side of the map and pull it all the way back to your side.
Yep.
Whereas all these other ones, you know, Slayer is pretty simple. If you can just kill them more than they kill you, you win.
Right.
And then you got all the time-based modes that kind of play pretty similar as well. So I don't think that loss is going to shake Ascending Baseline. I think they're going to still feel like they're in this.
I agree. Well, with game number 1 over, we're going to game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Recharge Slayer. Shopify Rebellion up 1-0 in the series. And Ascending Baseline Purple looking for an answer, looking to tie this series up. Recharge, one of my favorite maps. Again, the crossfire, being able to set a player up on the glass and on the catwalk and just set up completely. We'll see what happens here. Hopping in now with Rayne. He's got the same name as me. His name is Tim, so I think he's cool. Let's watch him for a bit.
All Tims are cool in my book. I think he's certainly one of the most underrated players. Thinking of whenever this map starts up, I'm like, all right, who's going to pop off with the shock rifle? And I can recall Rayne popping off with the shock rifle in many occasions. Just about everybody in this lobby, though, could do the same. Question is, who's going to get it early?
Yeah, shock rifle's such a strong weapon in the map, even with the reduced ammo. 3 go down here for Rebellion. 5-4, the lead for Ascending Baseline Purple. And the shock rifle, like we talked about, in the hands of Squallaye, one of the most accurate players in the league. He's going to whiff a couple there. It's always the way the caster's curse goes. You say something and they don't showcase. But
those were tough shots, though. I mean,
they were.
Guys jiggle peeking in the spot.
Oh,
a little chain effect there.
Yeah, the chain reactions is a great medal. If you get a whole bunch of players with no shields and you're just able to chain that electricity.
Linked.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
All right.
7-7.
Mental now with the shock. Just talked about how proficient he is with snipers in general. This one no different. Not really a big fan of either team's positioning right now.
Yeah, they're very spread out and isolated on the map, but 3 go down for Rebellion once again.
Yeah, and we've got control of the tower here from BreakingShot. Opts to pick up the commando. Expect these teams to kind of fight for gold control so far. It is Ascending Baseline in gold, but I don't think Rebellion's going to let them have it for free.
Rebellion stuck at the top of tower, looking for a way to push on in. They've got a player on the long haul that is Ascending Baseline Purple who is going to be on the cross, but they also take out the player on top gold, so Rebellion able to fly in freely. As you can see, they do just that on the bottom A. They take out the player holding that A side, so now it's up to Squallaye to run with his tail between his legs and just play his life.
Yeah, great plays from Rebellion. This map, when it comes to pushing a team that has the setup, you usually have to send players to both sides of the map, both gold and A simultaneously, kind of weaken the players that would be shooting your teammates across the map so that your teammates can push in more freely. Great push by Rebellion.
RyaNoob, one of our veteran players, I'd say, with a very high Halo IQ.
Oh yeah. Overkill.
Whoa, an overkill, baby.
From Haines.
Okay, so 21-16 now. Make that 22, a killing spree here for Haines, and it's exactly what you need. You need someone to pop off here, especially in the Passion Pit. They can get real loud, and Momentum can really follow through with that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this squad is the Passion Pit team, and I don't think Rebellion's been in this situation. You kind of have to think, all the players on Ascending Baseline Purple, they're no strangers to this situation. They've been in this position before. Shopify's used to sleeping in on Friday, you know, going to Einstein Bagels, getting a coffee, and then showing up for pool play, but they've had to grind all day. I have to imagine the energy level might be a bit higher on the side of Ascending Baseline Purple as we get into the later games.
Oh man, now I want a bagel. Goodness. 26-18, a massive lead here for Ascending Baseline Purple, and it's off the back of the overkill by Haines. But Cykul and Rebellion looking to push on through. A couple nades come out, the insta-explode's gonna be good. And the defensive wall of Ascending Baseline Purple gonna hold for now.
I really don't like 3 players being within 2 feet of each other on my team. That's what we see from Rebellion. Makes it real easy to collapse on. As we see Ascending Baseline try to do just that, but still solid defense coming out from Rebellion despite, you know, questionable positioning there.
29-22. AB Purple taking their lead a little further now as they get another kill in the feed with the melee. Cykul goes down. Cykul having a little bit of a rough game number 2, starting off 2-7. Still has 5 assists to work with, though, and like I've said before, and I'll say a million more times, stats aren't everything, but in Slayer, they mean a little bit more. Great shot by Mental. The shock rifle will fall to the floor, though.
That felt like a Gears of War flicking shotgun right there from Mental. He's been in that position 1,000 times. Reaction time still proving strong. Shock rifle changing hands, a big deal for Rebellion, though.
Great shot there, but it's going to whiff. Squallaye just trying to do as much damage as he can from this bat ledge area. A is completely clear. Looking for an opening. A player does squeak on through the bottom of gold, and that could be a problem for him as he gets triple team. 3 down for AB Purple.
That's exactly what Rebellion needed, and a team like them is going to get the most out of it. You know, they already know these spawners are here. This push might have been a little bit overzealous. I think he could have waited. They knew they had to collapse there if they just waited a few seconds. I don't think Cykul needed to push in quite that fast, but positioning still favoring Rebellion so far.
Unfortunately, Cykul's going to guess wrong. That player does scurry on through to blue pipes. He's going to play aggressively, though. The curb slide does come through. Pushing on, does get the cleanup now. Now they're going to push on to tower. 2 players to deal with here for Rebellion. One Rebellion player will go down. AB Purple pushing aggressively with no shield, and they both survive.
Such incredible baiting and switching right there. Perfect use of each other's shields and sight lines to force Rebellion to overextend into their trap, essentially, and get the shots. Very well played by Ascending Baseline.
Rebellion trying to give them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, but it's not going to pay off. 3 make that 4 go down for Rebellion, 45-37. Ascending Baseline Purple only need 5 to close out game number 2 and tie this series up.
This is where that energy is going to play a factor. You know they're going to stand up and have something to say after this match. I hope we have the camera ready. But yeah, this is looking like it's all but over. We've seen crazier comebacks, though.
Yeah, things can really slow down here, but you see the pings coming out of BreakingShot. One player from AB Purple does go down. BreakingShot looking for an opportunity to trade out some kills, but unfortunately, as you can see, he's scoped into his teammates dying on his screen.
All 4 never good of Shopify are either top white or top catwalk. This is what Shopify does so well in Slayers, is they just decide we're going to become a wolf pack, and they just start running together, make themselves an even harder kill, and they do it very well.
Very cheeky spot here on the batteries. Never want to be there, and that's exactly why. Squallaye.
5 minutes remaining.
A player, I believe a player from Ascending Baseline Purple will have that shock rifle. Or no, Rebellion, actually. I'm sorry, Rebellion will have that shock rifle. It's going to be Mental on your screen. 44-49. All AB Purple need is 1 kill, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. This kill could be okay. See what I mean? Like, why do I even speak?
It's pretty anticlimactic. I mean, the conditions were there for a Herculean comeback with the shock rifle, but player does get killed by the all-powerful grenades in this game. So tying up the series 1-1, Ascending Baseline. Like I said, they probably just shrugged off that first game. Like, okay, it's RyaNoob. He's good at flag. He's always been good at flag. Like, let's just play the next game. And wow, I'm really curious to see how this next one plays out. Solitude Strongholds. I mean,
beautiful.
I'm still trying to sort this game type out. I started off thinking BC was most certainly the best, but then I've seen AB also work. I've also seen teams just play hyper aggressive and play for the trip cap at all times.
Yep.
I think that the off-spawn behaviors are going to be so important to not die early. I see a lot of people in matchmaking, you know, your matchmaking teammates just spawn and they dive bomb into bottom middle and die immediately. It's very common in this game type.
Yes.
But I don't expect to see that from these teams. All these players understand how important it is to take space around the perimeter of the map, get some sight lines, and push up. And we just got word that G1 is the first qualifying team out of the open bracket, defeating Luminosity. So that's going to put them, they did have the most points, so that is going to definitely put them in Pool D, where I believe they'll face off against
Optic and Quadrant.
Yes, Optic, Quadrant.
Yep. And one more team that I can't think of right now because I'm old.
Yeah, maybe Impact Team, one of those teams. But that's, wow, congrats to G1, that's huge. I kind of have felt for a while that they've been underperforming compared to their potential. Hopefully this will be a tournament they can turn around.
We will see if that is the case. And as we've talked about many times, Shopify Rebellion versus Ascending Baseline Purple, this is their qualifier to get into that pool play tomorrow. which is, of course, a very, very big deal. And you were mentioning Pool B for that one. But solid 2 strongholds, definitely a very aggressive game type. We've seen this game type inside of Halo 5. And, you know, to be honest, I played a good amount of Halo 5, but I just like to get perfect with the pistol back then. So I didn't really think about what I was doing. So honestly, you know, in terms of setup or whatever, not really too crazy.
You just played for dopamine. You didn't think too much about anything.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. I respect that.
Yeah, it's not, to be honest, you know, I played like that for 20 years. It's not until I started commentating that I actually started thinking about what I was doing. And it's, to be honest, Halo's more fun when you think.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people. I mean? I'm like, there's a lot of people that just play, just literally get on and just play without having a second thought about what they did right or wrong or like even really thinking through scenarios. They just hold forward and shoot their gun, and it's like, yeah, you're going to get some enjoyment out of that. But in my opinion, it's more fun to like test your brain, like put it to like solve a puzzle. Like it's
right.
So
yeah, I mean, improvement is always very important. Shout out to Summit. He's been improving incredibly. Oh, yeah. Obviously, we all watch him, you know, rising up and getting better at the game and game sense. It's really cool to see. But
there's like 100 things happening at the same time.
Exactly. 100% agree. We're all biased here, of course, casting our favorite game, but hopefully you're learning a little bit out there. Eli, definitely a very good analyst, you know, very good at analyzing the game. He's coached top teams. He knows what he's talking about, so definitely listen to him. When it comes to me, I'll probably call something out and then they die, so, you know. But here we go, guys.
You're a great coach in your own right. I respect your content as well, sir. Appreciate the shout out. But
You're the man. I appreciate you. But here we go, guys. Solid 2 strongholds. This is it right here. Of course, it is a tie series now. Ascending baseline purple coming out with that Slayer win, and you see right off the bat, Rayne's going to go for that snipe. Don't get it mistaken. Rayne is an incredible snipe player. Like, this guy will hit shots, and if he heats up, we have a problem there for ascending baseline purple. But he's the last player alive. 3 down for his squad.
Honestly, I think Rayne has some of the sickest highlights of any player on the circuit. Some of the no-scope double kills he's gotten to win games. I mean, this guy usually ices up when it matters. Unable to do anything there because he faced so much pressure, though, from the side of purple. And right now, it's going to be ascending baseline that has B and C early, while Rebellion just has A and is going to have to play out of this.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to play your life there in that situation. You see the sniper, I believe, in the hands of Posey potentially here on the side of ascending baseline purple, and then he's putting Rebellion on the spawn screen multiple times in a row now. They've got a 2-cap presence here, 25 seconds and counting. That kill will not go through. The QT is going to save that player's life. You'll see Rayne trying to get control of this ledge side, but the team shot out of ascending baseline purple is actually impressive right now.
Yeah, I was very curious to see how Rebellion chose to play that scenario, because oftentimes if Rebellion has it as their strat, it's because RyaNoob thought of it, and it's probably correct. So I was curious to see how they played that. They elected to send 3 players through the glass side and 1 player to the ledge. Ends up almost working, but not quite, because like you said, ascending baseline's team shot is very strong right now.
Yeah, I think it was just off the back of Rayne, you know, 3 going down, and Rayne just doing everything he could to stay alive. I think he could have maybe had a little bit more presence with that sniper, which I think is going to be a big factor in the rest of this game. But ascending baseline purple have stacked up 47 seconds of time here. Rebellion finally answer back with a couple of seconds of their own. A little bit of an A-B setup going on. No one on the ledge side, though. You see all of ascending baseline purple, literally 3 players drop down to the bottom center of the map just to make sure they secure B. And now the aggression onto the spawns is happening. Isolated players. It's still a little bit scary here for Rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, this player pushing all the way in, though, is probably going to flip the spawns to where Rebellion is now spawning. Yeah, you see they actually spawn blue here, which in my opinion is a decent spot to spawn if you can get across the snipe. But right now, ascending baseline predicted it after the push and are making life difficult for Rebellion on the other side.
I thought Haines was going to stay alive there. Ends up going down, though. A couple players on that ledge putting pressure onto A. 3 down for AB purple now. An opportunity for Rebellion to get a triple cap in on the board. And with that double melee coming out of BreakingShot, it slows things down just a bit. But regardless, the triple cap does go through. And BreakingShot, all he can do right now is just do the best to minimize the damage and stop the bleeding.
You have to wonder, thinking back to 30, 45 seconds ago, that push into yard, was it really necessary? Do you really want to give Rebellion good spawns to take over the map? They took full advantage of it, getting the trip cap, and ascending baseline being punished for probably unnecessary push.
Oh, it's going to be Haines once again with that snipe in hand. You just saw him in your kill feed. He's on your screen now because we've got an amazing observer in the back.
Shout out to 90 Knight.
Yep, great observer, one of the best in the game in my opinion. Haines doing some great work there though. Gets a cleanup, a 2v2 situation. Unfortunately, he gets pushed from behind and that'll be a snipe lost. And potentially one for Rebellion here. B's trying to be taken, BreakingShot will go down. So B will be reset, Rebellion continue to get time and they're looking for the triple cap onto C as well.
B stronghold, I think the largest stronghold in the entire game, has the most cover. You're gonna see both teams diving in there, trying to contest it while the other team tries to cap it. Always so hotly contested. Anytime your team flips it successfully feels like a huge win because it's so hard to get it.
RyaNoob with a snipe, gets a triple kill.
Nice.
3 down for ascending baseline purple. All the while, Rebellion continuing to add time. They get their first lead of the game here with 111 points, and that triple cap is still in effect. So 2 points every second here for Rebellion until that B is touched. You look at the bottom center of your screen, it's still stacking up. No one's able to find an entrance into this hill.
Yeah, I love the positioning we saw from Rebellion just then. They actually had a player applying pressure from the yard, a player all the way at snipe to block those spawns, and they just created a line or an L shape around the blue area where all of ascending baseline was spawning. Made it basically impossible for them to do anything. All of their escape options were covered, and for that they get the trip cap, and they're now accumulating even more time.
Not only that, they're isolated. Every single player is isolated here, and these 1v1s are continued to be won. It'll be difficult to stop this triple cap from continuing. A is being taken though, finally, ascending baseline purple, able to stop the triple cap pressure. But look how much time has been awarded thus far. 190 seconds and counting for Rebellion.
Not just that, but they got to figure out how they're going to get out of here. You know Rebellion's going to be watching every single route out of the tram. It's very obvious that's where all of them are currently trapped. Look at the team shot, the aggression. They drop into B just to contest it, just in case, to add that extra layer of insurance to make sure they don't cap it. Now they're getting back into position to spawn kill again.
Triple cap will once again go into effect, and Rebellion really starting to show up here. Definitely a strong game type for them, as we can clearly see. They reset B, A being taken here. And all of ascending baseline purple is trying to do is stagger their way on through into B to stop that cap and potentially continue on to C here so they can get some time on the board. They've only got 80 seconds. And right now, Rebellion's 15 seconds away from winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a masterclass in this game type. You saw that every opportunity they had, they did that thing where they pushed yard and then had a straight line on the opposite side, so the only spawn point left is blue, and the spawners have nowhere to go. So they're just watching them from all sides. They did that twice now to get the trip cap.
Well, now they're fighting their way out of that lift side. They've got finally 2 caps on the board. You see a Rebellion starting to slow the pace of the game down just a tad.
Yeah, this is what you need to do if you're AB Purple. You have the 2 caps, just gatekeep anyone from getting in.
It's a push.
Rebellion sending 2 here.
I believe they know he's in there, but there's 2 players from AB Purple waiting, and a snipe as well. I believe that comes out of Posey there. I'm sorry, Squallaye has the sniper in hand. So that's going to play a little bit of defense. They try to get this B hill again, though, but look at this. It's Squallaye with that sniper making things happen, starting to step up for his squad.
Yeah, and he rotates this way specifically to influence the spawns towards the other side while he waits for his teammates to come back on the map. Doesn't quite hit the shot on the player not looking at him. That never feels good, but his teammates able to secure A, which means they don't have to feel as bad about not having B just yet. And great movement out of Squallaye here. He's able to just play his life, being a nuisance, wrapping around the bottom of the map and continually applying pressure.
Look at the pressure coming in on A here. They're trying to have their own triple cap, but Squallay's going to be a little late to the rotations onto C. The spawns will come out, so they'll safely stay inside of C, but not only that, they also get that B hill. So time continuing to tick up here for ascending baseline purple, approaching 170 seconds.
They got to get some kills here, though. If they don't win this round of Slays outright, you have to imagine this could be the end of the game.
3 down for ascending baseline purple. Rebellion, they smell blood in the water.
You go 4 dead, that's GG.
They want to end this right now, and it looks like they'll do just that with a cap here on to B.
And they force the spawns blue once again.
Yeah, there's no way. They'll have to rush on through and get A, but also B at the same time. They do jump into B as well, though. They get A, 245 to 178. Some slays are being taken here. Rebellion go 2 down. It's up to this 1v1. Oh my gosh, the whirlwind! Was there a tornado in his house?
Oh.
That is not good. The big choke comes through, and unfortunately, it's 2 dead for Rebellion. AB Purple have a chance to bring this back.
That was so impressive. That really came off the back of some excellently thrown grenades in the LR hallway. Got 2 players, 1 shot. They were trying to stop the A push, but wow, they just come off spawn and get 4 dead immediately. And
oh man,
that was a fluke. Sorry, brother.
What a clutch LPR right there, though. The strafe was just incredible. I wouldn't be able to track that strafe, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was moving.
The strafe was too fast, but at the end of the day, Rebellion take the lead 2-1, and 1 more game is all they'll need to secure that pool play spot.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying Shopify might not be used to the situation, but this team has always been better on LAN. Any team with RyaNoob on it, they might not do great in scrims all the time, but they're learning the maximum from every scrim. I think that's what's different about them is a lot of teams just scrim and they just get on and play, maybe do minimal theater review, but when it comes to RyaNoob, I feel like every single time his team loses a game, like he's like their dad, and he's like, all right, let's sit down, let's talk about this, let's figure out what went wrong, okay, you know, and I think he's got the right group of people around him that trust him. It's how can you not trust that guy? Look at him. Look at him.
I trust him. You know what? I trust him. Yeah, I love his intelligence. He also has some content, you know, talking about different things as well. Like, you know, it's older content. So
behind the curls.
Yeah, it's a little bit older, but just hearing his mindset and hearing the way he thinks about things is really cool. You know, it's just a good insight to his brain, at least a little bit. So. Very cool to see that, but you know, continuing on here, like we talked about, he's definitely not used to being in this open bracket, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, and he's making things happen. As they take that that 3rd game in the series, and now we're gonna hop over to live fire oddball, and I think it's my first time seeing this game type map combination today. It's one that I really like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like the classic. We've been playing this since the start of Halo Infinite. I don't know, there's so many memories. You can think of so many round 3 games that are won by just a few seconds. Yeah. This one really favors teams that know the setups, so I think Rebellion also has the edge in this game. Just from a theory perspective, they seem to always know how to hold parts of the map.
Well, here we go, 4 down for Rebellion. Ascending baseline, Purple are gonna jump in and get this ball. This is, of course, game number 4, and that 4 dead is going to give them just a bit of time and potentially a setup, but you see Rebellion already on that aggression on the push.
Yeah, but we've got a sniper and an overshield in the hands of Squallaye.
It's good to pick up the utility, but let's see how they utilize it. Couple shots go in, not able to clean up that kill. Gets that cleanup, though, and 3 go down for Ascending baseline, Purple. Last player is the one with all the goodies.
Yeah, you would have to think you might want to grab this ball before it resets. I think it is pretty close to the timer expiring. Has to back up off of these players, so just to make sure he doesn't trade this sniper for free. Looks like Rebellion able to touch the ball before it does reset. Not really a fan of this positioning, though. I never feel very comfortable with the ball in A. It doesn't look like they are either, so it looks like they might be trying to rotate it up the cuts here.
Oh no, and unfortunately an aggressive push by Squallaye by himself is going to get him taken out, and that'll be a sniper in the hands of Rebellion here. Squallaye, the last player alive, as he was the first to spawn off of his death there. Rebellion getting some time on the board, 15 seconds now. And the top tower position with the snipe, a very powerful one here for Cykul.
Yeah, if he's able to hit some shots here, could actually get control, but honestly, neither team having significant control of the game so far. This next overshield might be what swings things here.
Next OS coming up very shortly. Nice shot there out of Cykul to maintain top tower control. Good job playing his life as well. Ball getting rotated over to C now. Ooh, another kill there, 2 down for AB Purple. And looking for that overshield. They're not in position for it just yet, but he's going to drop that shroud screen to make sure to confirm that OS for the side of Rebellion.
Yeah, ever since they added the shroud to this map, I feel like it's actually increased the power of the tower because you spawn right next to the Shroud, and it was already good to have tower for overshield. Now it's even better. So I think both teams are going to try to fight pretty hard for that tower control throughout the rest of this game.
Looks like the pressure does come out. Ball does stay on that side, on that OS side though.
Enemy has the ball.
Tends to rotate back. It looks like some pressure was coming out from Ness, and a lot of people think it's like a static hold of the ball. You can get that rotation off and get that extra couple of seconds while you fight back for control. Looks like that ball will fall, but kills will come out here for Mental, who gets one. Traded back and forth on both sides, but 47 seconds is what Rebellion has come up with thus far in this first round.
Yeah, honestly, it's just been very efficient movement of the ball. If they're not holding the ball, they always leave it in a spot that's easily contested. Decide, you know what, it's time to fight right now. Let's not worry about the ball. We already have the lead. Oof. And we do see Mental get taken down with the Heat Wave. That can be a huge consequential item on this map.
That was almost a good play by him though, right? He plays the angles pretty well. He's trying to do as much damage as he can as this season a 1v2 and ends up falling because of it. Posey now has the snipe in his hands. One bullet is all that remains though, so we'll see if he's able to do any damage with this. He does get the shot off. You'll see if the assist pops if he gets that kill. It looks like the assist does not pop. Two of his teammates actually go down. Make that three Rebellion going down.
I love that repulsor play that we just saw from him too. He was one shot, thought he might have been getting chased at the pillars, launches himself high above the wall while using the aerial drift to land safely and get himself back in the fight before his shields are even back. Excellent damage output out of Posey so far.
Yeah, it looks like time is going to be a factor here. 2 minutes. That ball's reset twice in this match thus far. I've never seen the ball reset twice in a match.
Yeah,
well, we're seeing it here. Setting baseline purple, going to rotate it over towards A. And unfortunately, end up going down there. Posey is the first one to fall. They do get that trade though onto Cykul, but they still got to establish map control onto A, onto this A plat side, and it's going to take this 1v1 out of RyaNoob. Player's not looking, it's actually a 2v1, I apologize. He's going to fall too, so 3 down for Rebellion, and now some more time for AB Purple.
Yeah, we see BreakingShot here. He's immediately pushing out the nest here, because as he moves this way, he forces the spawns further away from the ball. It also makes space for the ball player to exit into green.
Right. And
they're actually getting quite a bit of time on this. Even though they're losing map positioning, the time is still adding up pretty well for them right now.
37 seconds and counting. Ball will be played off the map. 2 down for Rebellion. This is Squallaye on your screen, looking for a kill there. Not going to find it. Haines, the last player alive, trying to do damage, trying to do what he can to stall that ball. He does do that. He does do exactly what he's looking to do, but also is able to continue to pressure here. A player just walks up by him, no shield. Hello. Haines just doing work right now.
Yeah, RyaNoob, maybe a miscommunication there. Didn't know exactly where an enemy was. I've accidentally called key door, dummy door, and vice versa. So I wonder if maybe there was something like that there in the comms for him to not be looking the right way. But either way, they do still have the lead.
Enemy has the ball.
But ascending baseline not going to make it easy.
Yeah, they're chipping away at that lead. With a minute left, this is some big ball time here for ascending baseline.
Sniper almost up as well.
Oof. It's a big 2 kills.
Yeah.
It opens things up now. 3 kills make that. Ball will be played off the map. Squallaye, the last player alive, he's going to go down. Haines, the first to spawn, a triple kill on the side of Cykul, the youngest player of the HCS, making waves.
It's also got the most ball time, only by a second, but playing out. Certainly looking like the MVP of this round so far.
He wants it.
Plasma pistol.
Great shot there. Cleans up 1, gets top tower control, sneaks on into the top of the dome of the Shroud screen. All the while, though, his teammates are flying on through and picking up the pieces here at B. That repulsor is in his hands. Wow. Great job there by Mental to understand that repulsor was a factor. Didn't want to show himself on the open gap of the wall, so stays close, gets repulsed into the wall, and they end up cleaning up that kill.
Yeah, always important to be mindful of your surroundings, especially in the back green area on this map. There's usually always someone trying to ruin your day with the repulsor. Snipe ammo not really getting much value right now from Mental. We're used to seeing him hit a bit more shots, but the pressure alone and maybe keeping the shots out of his opponent's hands has some value in its own right.
Was he trying to plasma like throw a plasma on that ball for it to come up to the vent? Because
maybe
200 IQ, 3 down for Rebellion.
I don't think you get enough launch distance.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But 3 seconds is all that remain. Ascending baseline purple cannot drop this ball, because if they do, they will lose this first round. It looks like that shot will make it happen, and there it is. The first round going to Rebellion, and this is game point for them. This is round point. This is match point coming up here shortly, but Rebellion looking extremely strong, especially with the likes of Cykul popping off and having a good series.
Yeah, 19-9 he was in that round.
Jeez.
Just being an absolute terror. We saw that triple kill out of him as well. Anytime you get 3 kills in short succession, that usually amounts to some ball time. Rebellion, one of the more objective, efficient teams in the league for sure.
Cykul looking to continue his little bit of a run here as he picks up the 20th. The peak shot definitely very useful here on land. Look at him continue on through. Hasn't even reloaded. Has to switch to the sniper. Still hits the shot, and he wants to get ball time on top of it all. This man does it all.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened with the overshield. Not sure who ended up getting that. They must have died pretty quickly because it's no longer a factor here.
Must have been completely melted. Rebellion off those kills, only 5 seconds of ball time, but you see the pressure here for ascending baseline purple on the top center of the map. And it's going to be Rayne who's going to try and rotate this through to green. Rayne hits a nice shot there. He's not able to stay alive though, like that. The pressure I talked about at the top center of the map does come on through, and that's going to be 4 down for ascending baseline purple momentarily. You'll see they fully spawn on this tower side. But aggression from Cykul does not stop. The man hits a perfect kill once again.
Yeah, Rebellion wasting no time, accumulating as much ball time as possible while members of ascending baseline were dead. Huge fight still occurring, but all the while RyaNoob just happy to hold the ball, finally throws it out to a more precarious position, make it a little bit harder for ascending baseline to get out of here unscathed.
Overshield's coming up. If there's any way for ascending baseline purple to come back here, it's going to be that OS. It comes up in about 5 seconds now. See, getting control is BreakingShot. Gets a little bit of ball time for himself, but the win coming out once again for Mental. 19-13, having a great game in his own right. And OS in the side of Rebellion again. They've seemed like they've had control of that this entire game, and not only control of it, they've, if any time ascending baseline purple have scooped it up, they just make sure it's null and void.
Yeah, I think the efficiency and the value you get out of the overshield, but also denying value from the other team when they have the overshield, massive part of live fire in general. I think Rebellion has always been one of the better teams at this map. RyaNoob famously with the straight line strat that was kind of undefeated on that first United roster. They did not lose many live fire games, and I think they just have a plan in mind for every overshield when it spawns. They start setting up for it in advance, and that's why they've been so proficient at getting it.
Haines, the last player alive on this side of the map. He's going to get one of his teammates spawn onto A, but looks like that will force all of ascending baseline purple to spawn onto A. This ball is pretty much dead in the water. No one really in position to pick it up. Ascending baseline purple trying to just scrape as much time as possible. Getting a little bit desperate here, it looks like.
Yeah, you're going to have to slow it down. It's easy to get kind of impatient in moments like these. Maybe start pushing one by one. Maybe desperate to kill a little bit too hard. Getting caught out here after getting a kill. Looks like they do get 2 dead for Rebellion. Make that 3. One has now respawned. First signs of life this round for ascending baseline.
There it is, RyaNoob trying to find some sort of a way through, trying to find that first initial pick that'll allow him to push on through and pick this ball up, finish this game and finish this series as well, and secure himself a spot in pool play. And he's just flying. Shroud screen going to be utilized as well, and if anyone decides to go through that shroud screen, he's going to make them pay with his heat wave.
He said, come on in, I dare you. Repulsor, though, a very good counter to the heat wave, and some grenades as well. We do see another overshield on the side of Rebellion.
Yep.
Like you said, these guys are on top of it. They do not miss an overshield very often.
Ball will be played. There is a player down there, no shields though. He opts not to go for it, which is very intelligent, but This looks like, you know, Rebellion just kind of running around at this point, doing whatever they want. Feels like they're just freely able to honestly just move throughout the map in whatever way they please.
Yeah, you see that? He just moved the ball just a little bit further. Maybe it's knowing they're going to hit off this part of the map. Not really worried about ball time, but just, you know, chucking it in a slightly more favorable position in case they do win the fight. They're able to grab the ball as they do now. In case they don't win the fight, it's in a further position for the other team to grab it. So even just small things like that are definitely part of objective efficiency here.
Great heat wave play is going to get that kill on the top center. You see the rest of AB Purple trying to push in. Cykul just doing all he can to just do as much damage as he can. He ends up going down, and so do the two of his other teammates. So that's 3 down here for Rebellion. And looks like Ascending Baseline Purple have a setup of their own. The question is, how long can they keep it, right? Because Rebellion are just so good at pushing on through. But look at this. Finally, Ascending Baseline Purple a bit more confident, a bit more aggressive. They decide to take the space on the map and bring the fight to Rebellion, but it doesn't pay off. They go for dead.
Wow, yeah, that could just be the nail in the coffin here. I have to imagine this is going to be significant ball time. It's so hard to break into the tower when the other team has control of it. Rebellion also kind of funneling Ascending Baseline to have to go the net side just by holding this lane down. When the overshield's coming up, they secure it once again. Ball guy actually rotated through outside or bottom middle. I'm not sure how he got here, but great rotation regardless. This is going to be the end of the game. Yeah,
he's going to get the rest of that ball time, and there it is. The end of the game and also the end of the series. Rebellion will make it through to pool play tomorrow. Yeah. Ascending Baseline Purple tournament end will be now. And that, you know, honestly, I think they played really well. I just, at the end of the day, Rebellion, like you said, RyaNoob with those strats, making himself look like a crazy smart man, making things happen.
Well, it's not over for Ascending Baseline yet. They still have the losers bracket.
Oh, that's correct. You are correct. Sorry.
There's still going to be 2 more teams that make it out of losers. We've got some sharks in the water, though, so it's not going to be easy for them. I think they're certainly a favorite to make it out at this point. They put up a good fight against Shopify. I think Shopify just has a bit more structure and organization.
Right, I agree.
Once Ascending Baseline is able to kind of hit their stride and play the game the way they want to play it against some of these other teams, I could certainly see them making it out.
Well, I apologize. Not over for Ascending Baseline Purple just yet. A lot of sharks in the water, though. Like you said, this is the most competitive Halo Infinite has ever been. It just gets better and better every event. You know, we may not have hundreds and hundreds of teams, but the teams that do come here because they're passionate and because they want to win. And we end up with a crazy great open bracket. But Shopify Rebellion, they're done with the open bracket. They're done with the Passion Pit. They'll make it to pool play.
They get to go eat dinner. They get to sleep in.
Yep.
They will have to face off in Pool C, I believe it is. Yeah, they'll be in Pool C.